The doctor is in. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and this is MedTalk, HealthTalk. In a fast-paced environment, how do you choose the food that you eat? Is there really a superfood that can sufficiently provide our body with enough nutrients? They say, love your body by conscious eating. While being conscious helps in choosing the right food to eat, to some, being conscious is eating less to maintain a certain figure or look. Not to mention people's massive consumption of ready-to-eat food that brings in little to zero nutrition to our body. Study shows that the Philippines is still among the unhealthiest countries in Asia, where 44% of adults are overweight due to lack of exercise and unhealthy food habits. With the kind of environment and lifestyle that we have today, choosing the right food is as vital as deciding on what is good for your health. But as the technology on food production continues, how can we assure that we are eating the right food? And is there really a superfood that immediately satisfies our body's nutritional requirement? To talk more about nutrition and the so-called superfood, we have in the program Joy Fatima Santiago. She is the head of the dietary department of UERM Hospital. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Doc.
Now, because everyone is so busy nowadays, what do you think is wrong with the eating habits of Filipinos?
Actually, Doc, I cannot say that Filipinos are unaware of these healthy food choices. Since I know that the government intensifies the nutrition campaign through TV advertisements, radio advertisement, and even posters and barangay nutrition talks.
So that's parang enough, na awareness on what is the right food to eat. But why do you think na ang pinipili pa rin ng Pilipino is yung hindi masustansya?
Yes, so I think, Doc, they have this mindset that if you eat healthy, it will be more expensive, time-consuming, and difficult to follow.
Pero sa tingin mo, kahit sa processed food, kasi pinipili ng Pilipino ang processed food kasi mabilis eh. They're on the go all the time, time is of the essence. So minsan, wala silang choice. Pero meron kayang sustansya dito sa mga fast food?
Actually, Doc, it is a good source of macronutrient, which is yung carbohydrates, protein, and fat natin. But if we would focus on the micronutrients, since the Philippines, marami pong micronutrient deficient, kaya na ito makukuha natin sa mga fruits and vegetables na hindi natin madalas makikita sa fast food.
Okay. So and sometimes itong fast food is a little bit high on the salt and saturated fats, which minsan na-outweigh naman niya yung beneficial value. Now, a lot of people nowadays, they hear the word superfood. It is labeled in a lot of things. Na nakikita natin sa grocery and supermarket. Ano ba talaga itong superfood?
As a dietitian, I think it's more of a marketing term. Actually, there is no set criteria to determine the
benefit na nakukuha mo, or to name it superfood. Because a lot of people think na, superfood ito. Therefore, mas malaki ang benefit nito. Sobrang laki ang benefit nito than regular food.
Yes, but actually, the popular superfood in the market, they are claiming that it can prevent or it can treat diseases. But we should look to the high-quality clinical studies before we get convinced about it.
Okay. Can you give us some examples naman of nutritious food that is readily available in the local grocery, supermarket, or kahit na minsan sa backyard ng mga tao?
Actually, at my own backyard, Doc, we have malunggay.
Okay.
It has 7 times more vitamin C than oranges.
Okay.
And it also has 4 times more calcium and 2 times more protein than milk.
So malunggay is definitely one of the Filipino superfoods. Ano pa ba?
That's
ano bang pwedeng superfood
called,
na available locally aside from malunggay?
Here in Philippines, we have atis.
Okay.
Which is, it can lower the blood pressure because of its potassium, and it can maintain the thyroid function because of its copper, and it also has niacin that can lower blood cholesterol.
Okay.
And it also has vitamin B6 or the pyridoxine
Okay.
to maintain or to improve the heart health.
So definitely, ang daming benefits na minention mo just from
Yes.
Atis alone. Now, could you give us parang anong klaseng diet ang maganda for those who are on the go, who na walang oras minsan para walang 30 minutes, walang isang oras para kumain ng masustansya. Ano yung magandang ipack nila para at least kahit papaano masustansya pa rin?
They can have eggs
Okay.
because it is very easy to prepare. Iboboil mo lang.
Okay.
Then pwede mo
Hard-boiled
na siyang
eggs, ano?
baunin
Okay.
with instant oatmeal, then milk in Tetra Paks or powdered milk.
Okay. Unfortunately, hindi ako pwede doon. Lactose intolerant. Para sa mga katulad ko na lactose intolerant, what's a good substitute for milk? Milk is good, but
if you're
how about those like
talking about calcium, leafy vegetables are a good one. Pwede mo siyang gawing salad.
Okay. So to give a recap, a superfood is something that is packed with a lot of nutrients, packed with a lot of nutrients that is also essential for a balanced diet. But I guess what's important to take from this is the balance that has to be there, ano? And now, when we return, let's get to know more about the nutritional and overall benefits of the coconut. What else can we get from the tree of life? Stay tuned to MedTalk, HealthTalk, only on CNN Philippines. The Philippines is the third largest producer of coconuts in the world. And aside from many uses of a coconut tree, it also has health benefits, which are recognized worldwide. That's why the coconut is indeed a superfood, so to speak. And to discuss more about this topic, we have on the program Marco Reyes. He is the Vice Chairman of the United Coconut Association of the Philippines. Welcome to the program, Marco.
Thank you for having me, Doc Freddy.
Yes, now it's Coconut Week, and since coconut is one of the Filipino superfoods, can you tell us just a picture of the overall situation of the coconut industry here in the Philippines? Is it still a viable source of income?
The Philippines, we're the number 3 biggest producer of coconut in the world. We have 3.5 million hectares, producing 16 billion nuts per year. The top 2 are India and Indonesia. In terms of export, we're the number 1 exporter in the world.
Okay.
We export around 1 million metric tons of coconut oil. Although all our export revenues totals around $2 billion, we're the only agricultural crop in the Philippines with that amount of export revenues. But our 3.5 million coconut farmers, 60% of that live below the poverty line.
Okay.
And in fact, they are earning below 20,000 pesos per year. So if we stay in that copra-centric model,
Right.
it will not be definitely a viable livelihood for them. The coconut is perfectly sustainable, but the coconut farmer, the way they earn so little, that is not sustainable. But we're very happy that there are global trends which have been happening and has opened up big opportunities for our Philippine coconut producers to export.
Okay, let's talk about the health benefits. A lot of people hear about coconut oil and they associate it with a lot of different kinds of fat. Basically, that's why so a lot of people might be turned off with this. Can you tell us the difference between the fat found in coconut oil and that fat that we see in like meat and meat or pork or anything like that?
Coconut oil is the most saturated fat.
Right.
Coconut oil is 91% saturated fat. Lard is 43%. Tallow is 23%. Fats are.
So basically, what you the message what you want to get out there is that the coconut oil, the virgin oil, is broken down better. It's broken down better by the body.
In fact, it's absorbed directly by the portal vein, goes to the liver, and it's immediately a source of energy.
So it's metabolized better.
Yes, immediately.
You mentioned also because of we are exporting coconuts now and because of technology, the production from the actual coconut tree to the product to the oil, nawawala ba minsan yung sustansya?
In fact, it's a good thing when the copra is processed into an edible oil because copra in itself is a dirty product. You cannot eat it. It's not edible. But in the process of making it into pressing the oil out as a crude coconut oil, making it to an RBD, refined bleach and deodorized, then it becomes an edible oil. Virgin coconut oil is a pure form of the coconut oil without really any processing. You just extract the oil from the meat, and then you bring down the moisture. So it retains even the
nutritional
phenolic compounds. And all the carbon chain distribution of the MCTs are perfectly retained, whether as RBD and in the virgin coconut oil.
Okay, so from the potential nutrients or the potential nutritional value that the coconut tree can give, or the coconut to the actual consumer, konti lang ang nawawala in between the process.
Right. And
now,
when people they buy coconut oil for the health benefits of the MCTs, then it's perfectly maintained.
What are some of the benefits of taking coconut oil, virgin coconut oil?
For coconut oil, because it's rich in MCT, it's a saturated fat. So in terms of metabolism, so it's immediately converted into a product called ketones, which is an alternative source of fuel for our brain.
Right.
But when people get older, then they are not able to process glucose as much. They're even saying that Alzheimer's is a form of diabetes where it's not able to process glucose. So ketone is an immediate source, an alternative source of energy for the brain. And the good thing also with coconut oil, it is 47% C12, which is metabolized into a biocide called monolaurin against viruses, protozoa, fungi, and many other pathogenic organisms.
Now, since it's Coconut Week and we're celebrating that, do you have a message for our viewers out there?
Yeah, mga kababayan, because we have been importing a lot of palm oil, and in fact, we have changed our preferences for cooking from palm oil to coconut oil. We have been also losing out on a lot of health benefits which the other developed countries are getting from our coconut oil. So as much as possible, if it's anything which with regard to cooking or food, and use our indigenous resource, coconuts, not just coconut oil, but coconut water, you have coconut milk, yung mga laing natin, Bicol Express. So let's use more of our whole foods and from the coconut.
Is there a website that the viewers can go to see some of the benefits of coconut?
Right. You could check the website of UCAP. It's www.ucap.org.ph, and they could also check the website of VCO Philippines. It is vcophilippines.com.
Okay, very well. And there you have it. Thank you very much, Marco Reyes, for sharing the benefits of coconut and putting the coconut back into the limelight. And there is a new way to handle and manage brain attacks. Find out what exactly is a brain attack and what can we do to prevent this. Keep it here on MedTalk, Health Talk, only on CNN Philippines. Welcome back to MedTalk, Health Talk. Healthy blood flow means oxygen is well distributed to different parts of our body, especially to our heart and brain. But what happens if there's a clot or blockage in our blood vessels? To tell us more about this very important topic, we have on the program today Dr. Ana Havelosa. She's the director of the Brain Institute at Asian Hospital and Medical Center, as well as Dr. Joanne Robles. And she is also the head of the Neurocritical Care Unit at Asian Hospital. Welcome to the show, doctors.
Thank you for having us here today.
I'm sure a lot of viewers are pretty familiar with the term heart attack, or if not familiar, they've heard it before. But maybe not so much the term brain attack. Could you explain to us what exactly is a brain attack?
A brain attack is an episode where a patient has sudden onset of neurologic deficits. No? In other words, they have a sudden paralysis of one side of the body, a sudden slurring of speech, sudden loss of vision.
Now, what are the causes naman, doctor, of brain attack?
Usually causes would be from a clot in the artery that supplies a particular part of the brain. And this clot could come from various places. It could come from accumulation of cholesterol in the artery itself, or it also comes from a blood clot that gets thrown from a different part of the body, usually from the heart.
Okay.
So those are the usual causes.
So now that we know the causes, how can we tell if someone is under or is suffering from a brain attack? What are some of the symptoms?
Yes, we usually want to promote this acronym. It's called Be Fast.
Okay.
So if there's any problem with the balance, kunyari, the patient feels that they are going to fall down when they're
Right.
walking, or nahihilo sila, they feel like they're not able to control their when they move. And then eyes, is there any blurring of vision, double vision? Face, F, is there any facial asymmetry, any difference in the facial expression? When they smile, tabingi yung mukha. No?
Or hindi pantay, ano?
Hindi pantay, oo. Is there any weakness of one side of the body, particularly of the arm? And then, importante dito yung time. If the patient, for example, has symptoms within 4.5 hours, dapat pumunta na sila sa hospital. So be fast. Balance, eyes, face, arm, speech, and time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with the seriousness of this brain attack, ano, what you emphasize is, like you said, the time. The time is of the essence. Now, what should someone do when they see someone suffering from a brain attack?
If they see someone suffering, or if the patient themselves feel those symptoms, dapat pumunta na sila sa hospital. And the reason for that is meron ng mga gamot that can be given in the acute stroke period. But there is a time frame under which it can be given. Pag lumampas na sila doon sa golden period, if you want to call it that, no, then they will lose their opportunity for a treatment that could actually reverse the stroke.
Now, why is it so important, like what Doctora mentioned, the 3 to 4.5 hours that the patient has to be brought to the hospital?
This is important because the maximizing the medication, the thrombolysis, can only be effective when given during this particular hour. But it doesn't mean that a patient, after experiencing a stroke or recognizing that they've had a stroke, can wait until 3 hours before they come in to seek consultation in a hospital, because every hour counts, actually every minute counts, because in the first hour you can actually already lose 1.9 billion of your brain cells.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So this hasten aging in your brain, and you can lose as much as 3.6 years with each hour that you lose treatment.
Oh, okay.
So it's very important to be earlier than the 3 hours. If they recognize the symptoms right away, rush to the nearest stroke-ready hospital.
Okay. Now, you mentioned a stroke-ready hospital. How critical is it, Doctora, that the place that the patient is going to is properly equipped, properly trained?
Just like in Asian hospital, we have what we call a brain attack pathway. No? In other words, there is already a service so that when the patient comes in, we sound off a code, the brain attack code, and the activities and the program are streamlined already. Everybody knows what they need to do so that we are able to achieve the goal of a door to the time that the injection or the medication is given, which is within an hour. So it's important that if the patient recognizes their symptoms, they go to an acute stroke-ready hospital.
Wow, it's very important. Yes. Now, do you have a message out there for our viewers, Doctor, with regards to awareness of brain attack?
Definitely, walang patumpik-tumpik pa. If you have the symptoms as recognized by Be Fast, remember the acronym, come to the nearest hospital. In this case, our hospital is Asian Hospital and Medical Center, which has the brain attack team ready for you. And again, Be Fast is
balance, any symptoms with the vision, the eyes, face, arm, speech, and the time, which is 3 to 4.5 hours. Be fast.
And aside from that, do you have any other message for our viewers with regards to the importance of going to the proper hospital?
Yes. If you are going to be rushed to the hospital, we strongly recommend that you go to an acute stroke-ready hospital. Asian Hospital, our hospital, is an acute stroke-ready hospital.
All right. And with that, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Javelosa and Dr. Robles, for sharing your knowledge and expertise with this very critical topic of brain attack.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And with that, we'd like to thank you for joining us here on this episode of MedTalk Health Talk. Please join us next time as we talk about more topics that take control of your health. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez. Thank you for watching.